This is a good question. And this is something that I think that everyone and every listener out there is every single one of you want this answer given to you. And I think a lot of people have an answer that are just wrong. I mean, I think that this is going to depend strictly on who you are, a lot of different factors about expense ratios. There's just so much to think about. Client needs, right? Fixed income, fixed assets, pensions, when income's coming in, inheritance. There's just so much going on. It is hard to ever be highly probable to give an answer to this. And I think that anybody that does for in a specific age group or anybody like that, they're just wrong. And because of people's needs, they all change. I have so many clients, and every single client, they're all changing. And I mean, for you listeners out there, you know it. I mean, think about July 4th weekend. Every single one of you probably did something different. Every single one of you spent a different amount on the July 4th weekend, right? Every single one of you spent a different amount traveling on that weekend. Every single one of you spent a different amount driving on that weekend. Why are we going to calculate this number depending on every single one of you, right, retiring? It's going to be totally different. Every single, to the cent, to the dollar, it will be different. And yearly, you might need more money one year than the next year. You might have something happen with your health one year. So the plan has to be correlated every single year differently. And this is where I think that it's so important to sit down with the certified fiduciary and a financial advisor like myself to really go over the plan to start and to understand that these plans have to be changed because things are going to change in your life. You cannot just sit there and stick your head in the sand and just say, okay, well, my advisor said this or my advisor said that. This is how much I can take out. No. I mean, I just had a client the other day that was told that she could only take out $3,000 a month to live till she was 93. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Mm-hmm. What are these advisors talking about? It should not be tailored towards the advisor's thoughts. It should go towards the person's goals and your goal. And if you're listening out there and you're saying, David, I don't even know if I ever knew how much I needed to have. You might need enough. You might have enough right now. As we speak, as I'm sitting here talking to you, whether you're listening on the podcast, whether you're listening on, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or live, you've got to understand right now is the time to say, hey, do I have enough to where I can bring in what I want? And the only way that you know that right now is to sit down with a financial advisor, right? Because I can sit here and tell you, hey, you have enough right now to where we can do this, but the plan's going to change. Okay. So your specific financial needs is not going to be anywhere near someone else's. So you can't just ask, what do I need? I have no idea. Jim. And that's where I think that many people are missing out on. They're not sitting down really shopping. I mean, I consider everyone to go to financial advisors and sit down with them and see what each person says. Trust me, you're gonna have the education. You're gonna figure out a lot. You're gonna understand what's important to you and how someone can assess those goals. And you're gonna hear it. Mm-hmm. You're gonna hear the magic words out of one advisor, and you're gonna really, really love it because it's not going to be, oh, this is the amount that you need to retire. It's gonna be, well, what do we have here? What income are you taking in? What pensions are you taking in? Yeah. And you're going to have a whiteboard full of numbers. And then the advisor themselves should be, which a lot of them don't, they should be looking at these numbers and analyzing them for you and your goals. Yeah. Not for what the company or the paperwork say, but for you and your goals.
Well, and the one thing too, and this is the second part of the question, and that goes with what you've always talked about too, by the way, your point of always getting to know your clients and not just relying on something that the financial advisor might use with everybody. It's individualized and getting to know your clients. But the second part of the question that I want to ask, and this is what people wonder about, will I actually have enough money to retire or will I have enough money in retirement? What factors determine retirement readiness in your opinion?
Yeah, I think there's a couple questions that you need to ask yourself. And then these kind of help you, I wouldn't say fully solve the equation, but they give you a lot of material that I use personally. Mm-hmm. And the first three things that I'm really asking a client is, number one, what are your average fixed expenses? Now, I'm not talking about what you're spending on maybe a travel that comes up next month or that you don't know about right now. I'm talking about fixed. I'm talking about house payments, card payments, right? Taxes, insurance, things that you have to pay to survive. Your fixed expenses. Okay. The rest are variable. The rest are wants. They're not needs. Okay. They're wants. That stuff comes with a plan. That's where I plan for the client's wants and what they want. So if you're not thinking to yourself, hey, I've got expenses that way over my fixed expenses, that's okay. That's what I need too. That's the later question. The first thing is the fixed expenses. Okay. Second thing is guaranteed income. What are you guaranteeing? And I'm not talking about, oh, well, I take money out of my investments. No, that's not guaranteed. And if you're taking money out of your investments, okay, and you're just withdrawing money out of your 401k or IRA, you got a whole different problem. Hear me again. If you're out there and you're listening, you're taking money out of your 401ks or IRAs monthly or annually or however you do it without having a guaranteed income stream, you're missing the ball. You're just missing it. Okay. Trust me, it's not there. Okay. So this much amount of money each month, that's just, trust me, mathematically, it doesn't work like that. Okay. And I have prior episodes that will go over that too, but if that's a problem with yours, you definitely need to call in and set an appointment, because I tell you what, that's one of the biggest things that I see is people taking money out of investments that they shouldn't be taking out of, and which investments they're taking it out of too is a big problem. Second is, okay, after that guaranteed income, okay, we're talking about pensions. You're talking about, right, Social Security and pensions, and if you have maybe an annuity that's paying out, okay, yeah, for lifetime income that will not run out. All right, that's the guaranteed income. Then you do an easy equation, that minus your expenses. Okay. Then you find out what your fixed amount that you have to spend on whatever you need. Okay. That's before investments. Now you can calculate more into that. Okay. Now, what are your variable expenses? What do you want to do? And I don't even ask about variable expenses because a lot of people don't even know. They don't have it. They say, Dave, I don't even know what that cost. Or they have a spreadsheet that says what they spend, and it's so off. Every year's off. Trust me. I deal with engineers that try to guess it. They're so off. Things are going to happen. You're in retirement. You sit at home. Okay. You're not at work. You're going to want to do things, right, more than when you were at work, because when you're at work, you can't do things. You can't spend money.
Right.
Okay. Now you have a day where you wake up at 9 a.m. and guess what? You want to go fishing. You want to go shopping. You want to go have lunch. Right. You want to go to a doctor's appointment and then all of a sudden go out there. You want to drive up to see the grandkids because you have free time, or there are so many things now that retirees don't realize. You're going to need more money.
Yeah.
You're going to need, don't think that I don't need anything. I'll just take that out of my investments. No, set that income to where you know that you have enough, period. I mean, more than enough. And then let your money grow because you're not taking money out. Right. That's what the point of the stock market is to grow and not to distribute. It's meant to what? Accumulate. Let your money compound. Take care of income first, though. That's super important. So those three things, Jim, I think are most important for any client out there that is looking at those factors that go into it. And then we really get to talk. I want to know more about the client. I want to know about what they love to do, how expensive those things they love to do are.
Yeah.